Well, hello, friends. It's me, your favorite space uncle. And I assume you're only one. Are there more? There shouldn't be. I think I took care of that. Anyway, it's time for a story. From a Reddit user, Little Dog the Dog. I like your name. This is Spooky Goings On at the Cancer Center. Ooh, it's a spooky story. I don't get to read these very often, so I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Hi everyone. Hello. I just want to start off by saying that I'm a huge Moonhorse fan. Oh, well, thank you very much. I listen to your videos every day. I even wrote two. I think I called them Mary and Kevin's story. I still need to get around to writing a third part, but for now, I have a different kind of story. Well, I'm flattered that you like my content that much. I'm now disgusted that I said content instead of videos. God, YouTube, what are you doing to me? So, yeah, thank you, though. Thank you. Seriously, don't call my stuff content, though. I really actually, it's so corporate. It's disgusting. I can't believe I did that. I want to preface by saying that I am a skeptic. I do believe in spirits, but I feel that more often than not, there's a logical explanation for things that happen. Fair enough. In this case, though, I do feel that it's too consistent and too weird to be explained away. I'm a nuclear medicine student currently doing my rotation through the hospital's cancer center. Here we do nuclear PET-CT scans. That sounds fucking wild, dude. I have literally no idea how any of that works, so that's fascinating. We do not do routine exams here. If a patient comes to this department, they have cancer. Yeesh. We only scan to determine if it's metastasized or if it's responding to treatment. The layout is very important to the story. There are 3 injection rooms with cameras so that we are able to monitor the patient from the control room. The PET-CT scanner is in a room with the camera facing the back end and a big window facing the control room. We can see the entire department from sitting in the control room desk. There's also a speaker system inside the scanner so we can talk to and hear the patient from inside the camera. Makes sense. We usually always have the listen button on. Typically, there's a constant white noise. The ear system and the noise of the camera rotating is also really distinct. The scary occurrences happen when I'm alone and there are no patients, no techs, and the lights are dimmed to read the images. This is when I start hearing whispering. Whoa. The sound is unmistakably a voice, deep and raspy. Too low to make out the word, but loud enough to break me out of concentration. Looking at the monitor, the rooms are empty and the camera room is dark. The voice sounds sad sometimes and angry other times. I strain my ears to try to understand what's being said, but eventually I get up and just leave the room. This tends to happen every other week or so, completely at random. Recently, though, things have escalated. Now I hear the static change to whispers. When my eyes go to the window, I see the silhouette of a person. I can't tell if it's a man or a woman. There are no facial features. The figure itself is almost like static. I can't describe it as solid, but it's blurry and it's moving like static on a TV. Ew, that is weird. I was frozen in my seat the first time my eyes met the mass. I tried to convince myself in the moment that it was a shadow of something in the room. As I try to focus on the figure, my eyes blinking and straining, I'm sure somehow it's looking back at me. Then I'm ready to scream as it starts to evaporate. It just disappears, and the whispers stop. After this happened the first time, I had to take a walk through the brightly lit, crowded hospital halls to calm my nerves. Yeah, that is kind of freaky, I understand. It happens from time to time. The figure isn't always in the same place or appear at the same time, just kind of when it feels like it. I'm a little used to it at this point. When I see the figure, I feel scared because my mind can't make sense of it, but not terrified. The figure doesn't feel evil, just kind of there for whatever reason. I'm not the only one that hears the whispers. The techs that I work with have heard it too. Some of them have also caught glimpses of the figure. Though, from what they tell, it's only glimpses out of the corner of their eyes. I seem to be the only one so far that's held eye contact, or eye-to-void contact, I guess. I talk about these occurrences like they really happen, but my logical mind can't allow me to fully believe it. I want to believe that it's a trick of the light or my imagination, but it's happened multiple times the same way, and others have had similar experiences. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think or feel. I'll most likely keep it to myself, finish this rotation. I just wish I could help this thing. My boyfriend is afraid I'll bring it home one day. Any comments or advice is appreciated. Thanks, Uncle Moonhorse. Oh, well, first off, thank you for being such, an awesome person. And for sharing this story. I'll be honest, I kind of fit in the same boat. A lot of this is, logic is my first go-to. I don't really believe in paranormal things. I've never had a paranormal experience or something like that I couldn't, explain or disprove. So my first thought is always it depends on what the speakers, what kind they are. Because I know that older speakers have a tendency to pick up on, radio ranges just because of the magnetics. This happened a lot in older cars. See, you don't really have this so much nowadays with your newer cars, but it used to be a thing. If you got in the car with a cell phone, if the phone was too close to the radio, you would hear this kind of weird interference anytime somebody would send you a message. And it's because phones, all cell phones, doesn't matter who made them, use radio to connect to towers. So you're not actually connected directly to a satellite, even though it does use satellite to make, connecting calls. Your phone is not a satellite phone. Cell phones connect to specific radio towers using, I think it's extremely high pitch or low pitch. I can't remember what the exact bandwidth is, but there's a certain bandwidth that they all operate on. And that's the reason why they can connect to a tower. You can have AT&T, Verizon, whatever, connect to a tower. Older speakers are not magnetically shielded most of the time, and a lot of times, your phones can mess with that. It was the reason why, back in the day, when we had old school big CRT monitors with our desktop computers, you had to have computer speakers. You couldn't just use regular speakers. The ones from your hi-fi system in your bedroom, while they could plug into the computer, would make horrible sounds the moment you turn the monitor on. And that's because it's throwing off, electromagnets like you would not believe. And the speakers, being unshielded, would start making noises. And I'm wondering if it's something like that. I'm wondering if perhaps because the system isn't, shielded for electromagnetic radiation, that it's picking up something else. That it's, picking up some kind of sound. Be it from, I don't know, somebody's phone or some other device, something in the hospital, perhaps. I don't really know. I'm purely speculating at this point. Now, as for the figure itself, I honestly don't know. At that point, you've, crossed into, a thing that I can't say. It's one of those things that I'd actually have to really look at it myself. But, of course, I'm not there, so I kind of can't. This is all just me speculating. But yeah, that's definitely a hell of a story. That is kind of freaky. I've been asked by some of you guys to do a ghost hunting show, but of course the joke we always make is that because I don't believe in spirits or anything like that, it would just be 2 hours worth of footage in a spooky place, and then it would always end with me going, "Yeah, I didn't find anything." Anyway, tune in next time, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe that is something I should do. I've always seen those ghost hunting shows where it's always they always find something. I would love to be the guy who goes to the haunted prison and be like, "I ain't seen shit. Sorry." But yeah, that's a hell of a story, and thank you for sharing it with us. As for you out there, if you'd like to share a story with us, go right ahead. r/Moonhorse Stories. That's my channel. It's my subreddit. It's not my channel. My channel is where you're listening to this now. That's a different thing. I'm good with words. I have the best words. Anyway, yeah, you can send a story there, and as I've said, and the story proves, it does not have to be just a neckbeard story. It can be any kind of story you just feel like sharing. I say go for it. And if you'd like to watch these things being recorded live, you can do that. I have a live stream on right now. Hi, chat. Hope you guys are having fun with this. I know I am. If you'd like to support this channel, which I really hope you do, I have a merch store, which is possibly the best merch store on the internet, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to leave possibly in there, but yeah, I don't see anybody else selling Subs on Fire t-shirts. Just me. Because I'm awesome. And I have a Ko-Fi, which is like Patreon, except it's cool. because Patreon's not as cool as Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi, even though they manage my stuff, should also sponsor me because they are just that awesome. So, check that out. And, speaking of live streams, every weekend my fantastic fiance and I do that. You should come watch those. There's video games, there's weird stuff we find on the internet, a lot of bad cooking. A lot of bad cooking has been my go-to recently. Not sure why. It's funny, though. Either way, thanks for being here. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.